she's placing herself right in front of Brian Higgins, not on the other side of the bar. She is literally to his right. So she is placing herself directly in front of him, leaping over the bar, screaming at whoever's next to her.
Would you describe the text messages between Brian Higgins and Karen Read as flirtatious in nature?
Without having recently reviewed them in detail, I don't want to label it something without having complete understanding of the content.
What would have been Brian Higgins' motive for attacking John?
The question is, she ignored the text, correct?
Well, I don't know if I don't know what her mindset was. If she purposely ignored the text or she didn't see it, I don't know.
She didn't do any of those things, did she?
No.
It was like you didn't even exist.
I think that's dramatic.
So she basically ignored you the entire evening.
That's not how I interpret it, no.
I didn't ask you how you interpreted it. I asked you what she did. Did she ignore you or did she pay attention to you?
Did she ignore you?
No.
When John walked in to the waterfall, he greeted you, you indicated, correct?
Yes, I believe so.
Loophole lawyer. Welcome.
Well, welcome. How do we get more letters down next to your name?
I'm only going to have one soon. It'll all be replaced by 3 letters.
With regard to the interview, I thought she would know more than me as to what actually occurred potentially in the house or not. Now, I know that you're big on Colin and Allie and that conspiracy from the beginning. I didn't know why everyone started with that. I didn't realize that was the first information that you had. We don't talk about Colin anymore. We don't talk about Allie anymore. I know you do, but what I'm doing on my path is really he's irrelevant because of what Higgins did. And I don't feel like Karen is fully disclosing even now that Higgins was the person with the motive, the means, the opportunity.
This is huge.
This is what I really enjoy doing. Like I really enjoy having people have a different opinion than me. On my channel, Sam, I never block anyone for any reason. You can come in and call me a greasy wop, guinea, whatever you want. As long as YouTube allows it, you can do it. I will never block you. And if you have a different opinion, I will never block you. So you told me last night that Sergio had said Karen was signaling Higgins at the waterfall by ignoring him. So can you explain it to me then?
What Sergio was saying is that when Brian Higgins was being crossed by Alan Jackson, one of the statements that he makes is he did not feel ignored.
When John walked in to the waterfall, were you already there?
Yes.
He greeted you, you indicated, correct?
Yes, I believe so.
Karen walked in with him.
Yes.
But she did not greet you, did she?
I think they kind of went like that in different directions.
Right.
Yes.
Did she greet you?
No.
Right. So she walked over toward the corner of the bar, and John came over and greeted you, and then walked over and joined her, correct?
Yes.
Karen didn't stop what she was doing once she was over in the corner of the bar and come over and say hi to you?
I didn't have any interaction with her that night, no.
So safe to say that throughout that evening, once she was sidled up next to John O'Keefe or the friends that she was with, she never turned back around and came over and even acknowledged you, correct?
That's correct.
So she basically ignored you the entire evening?
That's not how I interpret it, no.
I didn't ask you how you interpreted it. I asked you what she did. Did she ignore you or did she pay attention to you?
Did she ignore you?
No.
So she paid attention to you? Came over and said hello, shook your hand, gave you a hug?
Well, just because somebody didn't come over doesn't mean they ignored you.
Did she do those 3 things?
Hug? What was the other thing?
Say hello, shake your hand, give you a hug?
No, she did not.
She didn't do any of those things, did she?
No.
It was like you didn't even exist.
I think that's dramatic. No, I don't look at it that way.
Did she ignore you or not?
No, she did not ignore me.
So what did she do to not ignore you?
In my opinion, she was working the room, talking to people, saying hello, catching up.
Right. The one person she didn't come over to talk to and say hello to and catch up with is you.
Well, I don't know that I was the only person, but I was one of the people that she didn't say hello to, yes.
Treated you sort of like a stranger.
I don't feel that way, no.
All right, it's getting crowded in here. Everyone out, come on. Not you, Scotty. Not you, number 2. Not you, Frau. Not you, gold member. Not you guys back there. Not you, henchman holding wrench. Not you, henchman arbitrarily turning knobs, making it seem like you're doing something.
Did she ignore you or not?
No, she did not ignore me.
Iggy.
Oh, this is uncomfortable.
She actually positioned herself away from you at the other end of the table on the opposite side in the corner. Isn't that right?
I don't know where she was all night, no.
Did
I don't know.
that upset you that she ignored you or didn't pay attention to you?
I did not feel ignored and didn't upset me at all.
But it bothered you enough to send her a text, didn't it?
No, it was a flirtatious text. It was just, that was it.
It bothered you enough to send her a text that said, with 6 M's behind it.
Okay.
And, well,
well.
correct?
Well, it wasn't like that. It was, well. Well.
Well?
Well.
Well,
She didn't respond. That's it.
Just, well, like a well in the ground.
Well, I think you know what I mean.
Yeah, I think you do too, sir. You meant, well,
well,
well.
when are you gonna pay attention to me?
No, that's not correct.
Well,
Well.
why are you ignoring me?
It's not correct.
Well,
Well.
am I chopped liver?
Well. Can you say that again?
When you texted her, well, at Waterfall, she ignored that text too, correct?
Well, that was the only text I sent that night to her, yes. She didn't respond.
That wasn't my question.
What,
My question is she ignored the text, correct?
well, I don't know if I don't know what her mindset was. If she purposely ignored the text or she didn't see it, I don't know.
Yes, he's a murderer, but Higgy Bear is so cute when he's trying to explain things away.
I didn't read into it.
Did she ignore the text, Mr. Higgins?
I don't know.
Did she respond to the text?
The tiny one can't take a hint. He doesn't understand. He is small.
She did not respond.
Got it.
And he's very clear about it. I think it comes out exactly like that. I did not feel ignored. Sergio, at that point, determines that was a truthful statement. There's body language. There's ways to communicate to somebody without actually speaking. I've been trying to figure out what would have been Brian Higgins' motive for attacking John. Right? Some people think he wasn't attacking. He went to bring him the messages to basically out Karen for having had this thing with him. That was kind of the direction I was leaning in until it dawned on me the other day. I was thinking back to high school and a whole thing that happened with me in a relationship that I wasn't really in.
Well, were you the one cheating or being cheated on?
Been in both of those situations.
No, I'm talking about the one you were thinking about, though.
In that situation, it was my relationship.
It was your relationship and someone was hooking up with your boyfriend?
Yes. What I was focused on was the jealousy. The drunk jealousy that a frustrated adolescent male can arrive at.
Yes.
Right?
Yeah, I remember that part too.
Irrationality. And then I was thinking about how I would behave in a drunk situation if I'm ignoring somebody outright. She's placing herself right in front of Brian Higgins, not on the other side of the bar, but at one point she is literally, I think when he sends the well text message,
Well?
she is literally to his right. So she is placing herself directly in front of him, leaping over the bar, screaming at whoever's next to her. It's sort of like he's peacocking with the fighting with Brian Albert. Well, she's doing kind of something similar. She's performing in front of him in the same way. And that to me is not somebody I don't care about. If I don't care about you, I'm not performing in front of you like that. I might say, hey, I would probably treat him the way that I always had. And their relationship was built on bar flirting. That's how they knew each other. So the fact that she's outright ignoring him to me was significant. And it's something that I just hadn't really dawned on me until I had sort of done what we had talked about, which is place myself in an adolescent drunk mindset, thinking about, okay, if this is me in a bar and my boyfriend, if I'm ignoring somebody like that, it means something. It's not irrelevant.
Yeah, 100%. And now I'm thinking back to that situation. You've been in a situation where you've ignored a guy physically, right? And you could feel them there. You know that they're looking. And you've done it two ways. One, because you didn't want to talk to him at all. Like you literally wanted to ignore him. Or how about the other where
to think that I was ignoring them?
Where you gather around your friends, you laugh extra loud so that they see you. And I get what you're saying. Is she doing that? I saw that, but I don't know if she's doing it to get Brian's attention, only because the week earlier when they were finally together alone, there was no chemistry. She had no attraction to him. So I understand what you're saying, and perhaps it's true, but everyone in a real affair or even relationship knows nothing matters until you get alone. I'm texting, I'm emailing, you get in person, they look nothing like their picture, and there's 100%. Zero chemistry. It wasn't on after. We would have saw so much more in terms of texting after they met privately if Karen was into him.
home, alive, cool. Thoughts?
Question mark?
Maybes. You? What? You asked My thoughts. You didn't answer. I don't know my thoughts. Okay, I think I get it.
It's possible that she goes there with the intent of him making a move. He doesn't do it. It's awkward because of that. And instead, he says, look, if you're not going to leave John, like, we're not doing this.
Would we agree that had there been a real connection, even if they had sex there, you would see different communication straight away and then throughout the next week? My friends have told me this. You would see a lot of sexting, a lot of craziness that she's not going to be doing with her husband. It would be insane. Again, I only heard this from my friends, but that's what they say what would happen. Not a week of nothing and then him trying his hardest, which was cute with the Tom Brady picture.
Good riddance. Haha, stranger. Have not heard from you. Phone works.
Phone works, and then an emoji with arrows going like both ways.
Thought you were all set. With talking? No. You sure?
She didn't respond.
Good riddance, like any type of common ground just to try and elicit a response again.
But I want a drink. Really? I'll give you Hardy's digits. Who?
Question mark?
Hardy from 98.5 Midday Show. He hangs out at the Currents sometime. He's a spokesperson for Recovery Center of America. Haha. I don't have a problem.
Had there been a real passion, we would have seen a lot more.
My original thought was exactly what you're saying, that they didn't have chemistry. Here's the one thing that I have a hard time with, though, and that disputes it for me. The next morning, she texts him, John died.
Saturday, 11:54 a.m. John died.
That is the defendant, and the defendant said John died.
If we add that text with the fact that she totally ignores him, I think what could have really pissed him off is the fact that she did ignore him, which sent a different message than I don't care. It sent the message that John is the problem.
I get it. He and her were always at a bar. Every time they were at the bar, she would be very, very outgoing to him. We know that there's a point where she even claimed that she deleted the text.
Do you remember anything you said to me the other night? Yes. I deleted it because I didn't want to do my own text walk of shame. But I'm pretty sure I remember everything. Have you always had trouble accepting compliments? All yours came to me after a day of drinking. You were way more all over me that day. So what? Don't most compliments come that way? Like all over me with compliments and how you felt. It was 3:30 a.m.
Clearly, he's getting the reassurance. I think I told this to Emily C. that there are girls in a guy's life where we like them so much that our first goal isn't even hooking up with them. It's rare. Generally, we'll hook up with anybody. This is just from a male perspective. But there are girls that are so at a level that we want, not physically, but also mentally, that we will forego hooking up with. And sort of Brian was doing that here, wanting her to take control. He was insecure with this entire time, but it's not as if he wasn't willing to go behind John's back. I mean, he had no problem making out with her and then communicating with her. So I believe, Sergio, that when he was saying he wasn't being ignored, he was doing it from a legal perspective to protect himself, because he knows that motive is a huge issue. You don't just randomly kill people unless you're a serial killer. So motive is an issue. Had he admitted to the fact that he was being ignored, then all of a sudden that could be the reason why he got angry. Either way, we are not going to stop producing these videos until the real killer,
Brian Higgins,
is brought to justice. This crime was very simple to solve because it took place within a very small area over a very short period of time with a very limited amount of suspects. One or more of these 10 people has to be the killer of John O'Keefe. That's how easy this is. Once you remove the kids and the McCabe's, you're down to just 3 suspects: Brian Albert, Higgy Bear, and Chloe. Since Chloe's a good dog, she didn't do it.
I didn't do it. I'm a good dog. I didn't do it.
So that leaves just 2 suspects, Brian Albert and Higgy Bear. But of the 2 Brians, only one had the means, motive, and opportunity to kill John O'Keefe. And that's our old cuddly but violent Higgy Bear. Once we had all the facts and didn't jump to conclusions, do you see how easy it was to solve this crime?
our house, we call you Sexy Stud English God.